Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nita Mulyani. My SRN 183400028. Okay, I will explain about the importance of public speaking. The definition about public speaking. Public speaking is a process, an art of making speech before an audience. Absolutely, everyone the age of 10 to 90 has found themselves in situations when they had to speak publicly. However, telling the anecdote at corporate party, introducing yourself in the class, or delivery paper at conference doesn't necessarily making you a public speaker. It's not enough to talk in front of the group people to be a brilliant public speaker. Your goal should not be limited informing your audience and expressing your truth publicly, but to change the emotion, actions, and attitude, and to leaving your listener by move word and to touch by the meaning. Why is public speaking important? The first is win over your crowded. No matter the crowded in front of you, whether social gathering, business meeting, or the large audience in conference. Being able to speak publicly is important asset. With public speaking skills and experience, the speakers are able to captivate interest the listener and keep them interest in order to deliver message. The second is motivate others. The public speakers motivate others to make a change, to start or stop something, like try something new or reach their goals. Public speaking is very important. The speakers being to direction their ways and give motivate to listener be better in their self. And the third is inform people. If you want to give information to other, you want your information to listen, right? So this is done in public speaking skills. Inform people using by great public speaking skills can make sure the listener and the listener likely to understand more the information. The aspect that we need to consider when we're doing public speaking, there are 3 points. The first is intonations. Intonation is the high or the slow voice, the rhythm of the sound or the stress of the tone. When we're doing public speaking in the public, we can use intonations like everyday communication. It is easier for listener to understand. And be careful not to talk monotonely so that the communication doesn't feel bored easily. And the second aspect is volume. The speaker must pay attention while the public speaking is done. If the public speaking is done in outside place, the speakers must be increase the voice, and if public speaking done in the room, the speaker must be able to adjust the voice of the sounds, not too low but not too slow. And the third is The third is speed and pause. The speakers must be a good skill for control the speed and speech. When the speakers speak information is too fast, the listener will find difficult to understand and accept the informations. Likewise, if the speakers speak so slowly, the listener will be bored to hear the information. 7 top tips for public speaking. The first is move around a lot of. When you speak publicly in one stage, don't just stay in one place. Sometimes you can play around the stage. It is for make you relax and you don't look tense. And second is get a territorial. If you bring some things like nuts or the glass of water, you can put in some place and you can show that it is yours. And sometimes you can text your water or your nuts and you can walk in the stage and not make you just stand by or stay in one place. And the third is bend your body. This is a three very important because if you want to go to the stage, you can bend the middle of your body first for make your body is relaxed. And the fourth is stand off to one side. If you feel confident and relaxed, you can just stay in one side and you can give your information. But if you not feel relaxed and not feel confident, you can walk a little in the stage because this is trip for make you relax and the audience didn't know about your conditions. The five is concentrate about the opening and closing. Why the opening and closing is very important? Because the audience will give the impressions in opening and closing. If you have mistakes in opening or closings, your audience will remind about your mistakes and they will give a bad impression to you. And the sixth is say thank you and take a bow. If you have finished your public speaking and you have finished give your informations, don't forget say thank you, because if you have said thank you and take a bow, you can get good appreciation for your audience. And the last is always test technique equipments beforehand. Before you go to the stage, you must prepare first. Prepare about the technical equipment, about your material to public, and about your condition and about your clothes and etc. Because it is very important. Don't make mistake if you have in the stage. Okay, thank you. Types of public speaking. There are 3 types for public speaking. The first is to inform. The speakers is explain the facts about something or explain how to doing something or how to make something, like how to make a cake, how to cook noodle, and like when the students explains about the material in the class, or the speakers is tell about the histories, place or stories about people, to give informations. This purpose from this type is just to give information to audience. The second types is to persuade, to motivate, and take actions. When the speakers try to influence the audience to many ways, the speakers try to change your mind about some things, persuade you to change your opinion, to motivate you to change behavior or to take actions. The example for this type is uh, the speakers explain about some things like how to change bad habits, like bad habit when you sleeping, bad habit when you eating. The speakers is explain the negative effect and the positive effect, so the audience will influence to do these explanations and try to make the audience is follow the tips from the speakers. And the third is to entertain. These types is sometimes we found in even when the birthday party, wedding party, or dinner day, uh, the speakers is tell about anecdote stories or tell about the fun stories. The speakers is try to make the audience is very happy and make a cheer up when the events. And the purpose of this type is just make this event is very happy. How to improve your public speaking skills? The first is voice control. Your voice is the most important when you as public speakers. You must control your voice. You must control your volume, the high or the low, and you must be able to adjust your volume to sounds. You must control the speed and the pause when you speak. Why? Because the volume is the first important, because your audience will get information for your voice. The second is body language. Body language is the way to communication with audience, not using your voice or the word. Because body language is like your facial expression, your gesture, or what you do in the stage. Gestures is very important. If you speak, you just stand in one place, your audience is not interesting with you. If you have a good gesture, when you speak with good gesture, your audience will interesting to listen your informations. The third is delivery. When you speak, there is delivery you with your audience because you give information for your audience. If you give information, you must be good information. So you must have important informations, so your audience will interesting to you to listen your information. And the fourth is audience relations. When you speak in the stage, you must make a relation with your audience in the middle or in the last your speech. When you give questions or you give time to your audience, give you questions and you answer, you will give a feedback. This is a relation with your audience. It is very important because if you have relations, your audience will interesting to listen your information, and they are will happy to situation when they have listen your speech. And if you have say some things or answer the questions for audience, you must give a good answer and the real answer, so your audience is very easy to understand about your information.